November the 30th, 2021. Guys, you're looking at information today coming from the CNBC, and it has to do with the Dow Jones Industrial Average. A couple of days ago, I did a video, and we talked about, I think it was Sunday night, I was over in the mountains in New Mexico. Finally made it in this evening, thank goodness. It's been about 3,600 mile round trip driving. But you get to see a lot of things you don't normally see, and as much as I'd love to do the videos I do, the music I do, the podcast, and the information that we share, sometimes you'll get so involved in it that you really can't see the forest for the trees, and you understand where I'm coming from here, especially if you've been doing videos for a long, long time. And you get so involved in the things that are happening, the things you can talk about and the things you cannot, that it becomes kind of a brick wall as far as new ideas, new information, and the very fact that you're backing away from your investigations and your studies to just take a deep breath. And when you do that, guys, if you ever suffer that problem where, again, if you're sharing a lot of information, doing research daily and things like that, you will eventually come to that point. And a few days off will give you time to breathe, to look at the things. I was still studying when I had time to and seeing what was going on. But it gives you time to sit back and look at the real picture. And I want to share some information. It's a continuation of the Sunday night video I did from New Mexico. And again, going back to the Dow Jones Industrial Average today, minus 652. Sunday it actually went down Friday over 1,000 points, and it came back a little bit to 960 or something like that. I can't remember the exact numbers. And the futures indicated then that we may have a rebound yesterday on Monday of a couple of hundred points, and we did. Today, that didn't hold up very long. And guys, there's problems in Turkey. If you want to research this, and I think it's very important, because there's a lot of nations that are being affected by different things, and a lot of it depends on their policies and their willingness to go along with more global ideas. But Turkey, and we're dealing with Erdogan, their dollar or their currency went to almost zero today. I think it lost 20% today, but it had been falling for a while, close to 40 or 50%. So today a lot of stores had no visitors, possibly just only the food stores with the people that can afford it. But there were protests and people holding signs that said our dollar has went to zero. Now, guys, I hope you understand what that means. We talked about the banks have the ability to bail themselves in with your deposits now. If there's trouble, if they lose money in their investment schemes, then we pay that back. And it doesn't matter if you have $10 or $10,000 in your account. What happens is the ability to do business, regardless of the amount. When the bank shut down, the ATM shut down, what else happens? Can you buy gas? Can you buy groceries? Can you use that card? Or are those funds either frozen or vanished? You don't know. That's why in the Old Testament it talks about gold and silver. Many of you are aware of that. Someone put that link in the comments below. It says, in those days, we will cast our gold and silver into the street, because it was the stumbling block and the iniquity of our downfall. Someone put that in there. I've done several videos on it, but it's a good research, and read the entire chapter. So now, but let me back up. Just at that point where they're saying they're throwing the gold and silver into the streets, they didn't have paper money. So now we can throw that in the pot of what's getting cast into the streets. But again, today, look it up, Turkey, and the problems with the protests there, because they're saying they can buy nothing. Nothing. The dollar has gone to zero. Now, our dollar has not done that yet. I think it's being propped up by a few other things that are going on. But guys, in the New Testament, it says, if you knew when the thief was coming, you would not have, or you would have been there and you would have stopped him. And a lot of people think of that kind of on a personal level, but think of it on a world level and a national level. In other words, is our nation being stolen? Is that the thief that they were talking about now? And does that apply to every nation on the planet? And guys, who is the thief? Everyone, I think, that watches this channel realizes what I'm about to say. That, and you, all of you hear it. You'll say, well, why would they do this? It sounds so stupid. Or why would this happen and they let the oil supplies or whatever go to very near zero? First of all, you got to realize that we're not in normal times and that evil rules the planet. And until you realize that and break away from mainstream media, and I doubt very many of those people are watching this video, but if you listen to that, you have no clue. And when you have no clue, you let that thief break in and you're unaware. So if you don't see what's going on, if you don't see that the thief is here, then you're going to lose everything. And so you better put any assets that you have into supplies. Because, look again, search the news. You may can find it here at CNBC. But Turkey's dollar, or their currency, went to zero. How far behind is the rest of the planet? And think about the Great Reset, and think about Build Back Better. Before you build something back better, you have to tear it down. And the better depends on who you are. It may not be the best for many people. That's what we're dealing with. And if you get real with the situation, do you realize that you could wake up in the morning and your ATM cards not work? Your bank doors are closed? It's happened before. It's been going on for years. But do you realize that they're not going to warn you? Do you think the thief is going to let you know the day he's coming? So if you've got money in the bank that's losing its value daily as you try to fill up the gas pump in your vehicle to get to work, or your food pantry, if you think that's not going into great depreciation, and inflation is almost going into hyperinflation, then you're sadly mistaken. So what does that tell you? Your dollar's going down, but what if you had food, water, precious metals such as something to defend yourself with, and the barter capabilities of that? Then you're going to get caught off guard. And all of us have prepared, everyone here has prepared for a long time in every way that we possibly can. But right now is the time to look at what is really valuable to you, what can you live or cannot live with, or is your entire savings in a 401k, is it in the bank, is it in a checking or debit that can be taken into the new bail-in laws for the banks since the Lehman Brothers catastrophe? And not only that, guys, you've heard of Evergrande that went bankrupt over in China, the largest investment real estate company on the planet, to where so many of our hedge funds here were heavily vested. Well, a second one did the same thing yesterday. Another major Chinese investment corporation went insolvent. So there's going to be players that are very powerful that are going to move to salvage what they can and take over other areas that they can while it is available. What are you going to do? You've got to think about this. And of course, everything that I'd like to talk about here, I can't. I just hope you realize that if you know that day that thief was coming, you would have not left your home. The thief is here. What are you leaving open? What are you leaving outside? What are you leaving on the table that could be put into more precious assets for you and your family? I'm not talking about gold and silver, and I hope you know that. We're watching this, guys. You watch it. This is a major heads up. Be safe.